Hello everybody, my name is Jeremy, and here we are in front of my big rack because I wanted to give a module that I've kind of, ignored maybe, not really given a lot of attention to after my first explorations with it. I want to give it some attention, and that is the Noise Engineering Melotus Versio Granular Effects Processor. I am a huge fan of Granular. I love Granular to death. But there's something about Melotus that when I first used it, I just did not grab onto. And I had instead flashed it to Melotus Versio for a really long time. And now I'm back after I talked to one of my students and they said they really, really love Melotus. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it another go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pass a very simple sequence from the tone hack module right here. We will build that up from scratch. So we can hear what Melotus is going to do to it. And then I have a whole patch built around this that I'll bring in one step at a time and then jam with so that you can get a sense of like what we have here. And here's what it's going to sound like when we're done. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. So let's get started. And here's the sequence that I recorded earlier into my Hermod that we'll be using to listen to this. So I have some controls down here to manipulate the blend and things here. So let's bring in, I'm going to reset this actually. Let's bring in the blend. I believe that that one is right here. Schwamp. Wow. I'm going to unplug tone as well. So, I mean, honestly, that's already very nice, and the reason is because I've kind of dialed it in already. So let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at what's going on with Melotus. Okay, great. So blend is obviously like the effect blend. What Granular generally does is like it takes an incoming signal, samples it, and from those little bits, those little windows of samples, turns it into some kind of, cloud or new rhythmic interpretation or something like that. So we have a control for regen. Regen is feedback, how much happens there. We have a control for sparse. So if we turn sparse all the way to the 1 grain, you can hear how quickly it just kind of like, oh, that's actually really cool. Wow, that's wild. You can hear that it like basically is like 1 big grain. And then as we move it over here, we start introducing sort of more grains. And they're a little bit more, I don't know what the right word would be, like cloudy, which is great. We have length. How long are our grains in here? Or how long are the grains, excuse me. We have cohere. This symbols, if you look around the knobs, actually help quite a bit in discerning what these do. So this is the least coherent. You can hear it now, it's more spread out. Kind of like the grains are like more kind of stochastic. And then over here, this should be the most cohere. Almost like a multi-tap delay there. You're hearing some reversing, which is cool. That's from this little control right here. We have reverse, a question mark, which is, I believe, a back and forth. Then we have forward. So let's just switch this to forward real quick. Now, clearly our grains are all traveling forward. Okay. Delay. You can hear that we just spread out a bit. How long it took for that first instance of the grain to come in. And there it's really, really quick. So that's cool. Lots of nice little smeary options. We have a tone control, which will take this and go sparkly with it on the right and darker with it. And what I mean by that is a pitch shift. So let's listen to that. I think that's cool as hell. Yeah, I really like that. So I actually have a control for that right here. So there it is, way down. You can imagine modulating that with LFO. That would be really cool, right? Let's keep it right in the middle for right now. Okay, so the last thing, which is where like things got really interesting, is this flow control. So the flow control is right here, and there's 3 options for it. There's a clock, which is the first one we'll experience. Then there's hold and freeze. Let's try clock first. I have a quarter note clock coming out of this molt right here. With this plum. Go ahead and snake this underneath here. Like so. Let's go ahead and then put this into our flow control. Oh my god, what a mess. Let's just do this, shall we? And to really hear this, you probably want to hear like a beat, but I think you can probably kind of pick up on a pulse right now compared to our actual sound. So that's pretty cool. Let's bring in a hi-hat. So I thought clock was the be-all end-all here. If we turn cohere up, delay up. I really like that, how it like kind of just pulses and flows around the thing without being like too unclocked. Cool. But then I tried, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, that was hold mode. See, this is what I was saying. Like, I was surprised that I actually liked hold and freeze more than I like clock. So this is hold mode. Let's switch it over to clock mode. There we go. And now it feels like it's clocked. I just wanted to bring in the beat really quick so you could hear what it sounds like a lot on the beat. You can definitely hear that we're now syncopated with the beat. We'll get more to the beat in a second. So that is clock, and then we have freeze. That's cool as hell. So imagine if you had, like, what's the right way to play this? Dynamic material, like a sample or something that had like all these different moments in it, as opposed to this little bit that we have here. Then you could create some really, really interesting repeating moments. I think hold is my favorite in this case. Anyways, that's a brief intro to Melotus. I'm going to do some more patches with this in future videos. I'm going to maybe do a little series where I focus on it, because I definitely want to put other material through it. Granular is such a special creature in terms of like what it does to different source material types of things. Certain granular processors like to work on certain types of things. Some of them love drums, some of them love synthesizer sounds, some of them love samples and stuff like that. So we'll definitely try some samples through it in another video. But since I don't want this video to be too long and I just kind of want to get to the jam, let's start bringing in the other elements. Okay, so you already heard the beat. Let's go ahead and bring that in before we do, because it's going to get a bit louder and I'll probably end up shouting since I can't hear my own voice. That is the quad drum, the QD, VPME QD, sequenced by Constellation. It's going to run through Modular Versio and Motus Versio, my favorite combination for drums in terms of effects. Thus returning to an old chestnut here, because I started this track and I'm like, oh man, I bet this would sound really good. So we'll bring that in. These samples are from some kind of lo-fi sample pack. Really like the vinyl sound on that drum. Okay. So the next step is to bring in the effects. I have the blends of those down here. And the first thing is bring in the Runa. Now, God, listen to that fucking stereo width and that texture. Dry. Wet, 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 wet. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, the next thing is bring in the blend for the Motus Versio, which is their synthetic tail generator, and then bring the regen all the way up so it starts to sidechain around the kick. Yeah. That's great. With modulation, you can get like a whole animal out of just this, right? Like, let's do that actually. And then we'll go ahead and take outputs of this and run them into our attenuators. I think we just need like 3, creating some automation chains as Maestro does, and just turning them all up. Cool. And then get these out of the way. Got a lot more cables now. Come here, come here, come here. Oh yeah! That is hot, hot, hot. I love it. So let's make our drums dry again and bring that back in. Not a bad drum sound, honestly, but... And then... Texture. I love texture. Okay, so next up. Next up is a bass line. I was like, I need a bass line for this. And I thought deep supersaw bass line. Deep Reese bass line. And for that, I reached for the Instro Croon into the Freak Manifold filter. So let's go ahead and listen to that big old supersaw sound. That's good. I have a control right here. For the filter. Oh, that's fucking good. All right, let's record something. That's good. All right, now we have a nice, strong undervibe. The next thing is I wanted a lead sound. Now, we're not going to record this just yet. I'm going to vamp on this, but I want to show you what it is. So it's plates going into C legs. That's it. I have a control for it right here. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, I forgot. I have OCHD, this one right here, going into the F input. Just a tiny, tiny bit of vibrato. If I make this Melotus Versio 100% wet, I can I take the drums out, which is really important because I want you to hear this next section. Okay, so I can't make like a dark sort of, trip hop track without some kind of samples in it. So the very last thing I reached for was the Bitbox Micro here. And I added some samples from some Native Instruments libraries that I like to use. So we have a couple vocal samples, and then finally a hi-hat. So it's out right now, and then in. See how it just brings the whole beat together? All right, so that's the patch. It all started around Melotus. from there. Like, just nice to find something that inspires you and then go from there. All right, I can take this away now since I don't need to talk anymore. I'm just going to have a little jam. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting to you, and see you soon for more Melotus adventures.
Rave it. Yeah, enslaved to the slave ship of rap. Take it like that with that boom bap. Take a stand, ran motherfuckers. That's right, get it, cause a ruckus in the truckers. Get it in your shoes, in the grooves with your socks off. Block part, yeah, that's a rock. On the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it. Bob be the bullet. Scratching on the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it. Bob be the bullet. Scratching on the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it. Bob be the bullet. Scratching on the microphone, Bob. Sound consumes, get the ill style and this shit go boom, bang, like boomerang slang when we come back. Every man, every woman hype on the track. Facebook freaking, get the shit we speaking, tweaking on the floor, you want more. Music is our addiction, get the friction, like a needle to the record, coming with the itching. Ill shit, fiction, faction, tactics, everybody know it's every man come back quick. Yeah, you coming with the hip-hop sound, it's not dead, resurrected, regular. Right, Bob be the bullet, scratching on the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it. Bob be the bullet, scratching on the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it, Bob be the bullet, scratching on the microphone, Bob be the bullet. Get it when we pull it, Bob be the bullet, scratching on the microphone, Bob.